This is Share the Vision, presented by the Resource Center, a discussion of the programs and services of the Resource Center and about issues related to individuals with disabilities. Today, as I speak to you, it is Friday afternoon, the 15th, just before 3 o'clock, and we are about to broadcast the Toys for Tots Wrap-Up from Toy Central here at Allied Alarm in Falconer. The room is full of people, full of toys, full of enthusiasm. We'll get to some of the coordinators for Toys for Tots and more of the show in just a moment. But first, there's someone here who's been busily picking out toys for young people and is going to get on her way shortly, so I wanted to get her on the air as we began. Hello.
Hi, I'm Michelle Hoden, and I work for the PACT program at Love Elementary School. So I work with the 4-year-olds in UPK and some 3-year-olds also. And every year we do Toys for Tots for our families. We have them fill out the applications, and then I look forward to it every year. I love coming here and packing the toys because I know the kids, so it's fun to pack for these children and for these families. And the families are so grateful. They love it. And when you come here and you see everything, it really is, it warms your heart because you realize just what a nice community we live in and how wonderful it is that they respond so abundantly to the need in this community.
Well, you're very well spoken. I've hardly had a chance to start here. But Michelle Hoden, yes. I want to ask a few follow-up questions, but first I need to say to the audience that the look of Christmas, the look of enthusiasm, of joy on your face at this moment is worth $1 million.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love this part. This is my favorite time of year.
How many children have you picked for here today?
Well, we actually had 37 families that we referred to Toys for Tots. I think of those, about 24 wanted us to pick them up. The other 13 were going to pick up their own toys. So about 24 families today that we picked up toys for. And
tell me a little bit more about what PACT means and what it is that you do with these young people and their families all year round.
Sure. PACT stands for Parents and Children Together, and it's a joint venture between the Jamestown Public Schools and Jamestown Community Learning Council. And there's a PACT teacher. There's actually a few PACT teachers. And what they do is they have parents come into the classroom once a week, and they get to observe and participate in the classroom activities. And then they come in with me, and we talk about the skills that they see that their children are learning and how they can further develop those skills, different activities they can do in the home to help those skills and develop those skills. And then we plan all the activities throughout the year for the different programs. So we plan the Halloween activities, the Thanksgiving soup we do. At Christmas we do a holiday celebration, and we plan out all the activities. The parents help to make the activities, and it's a lot of fun. It helps to get the parents more involved in the school, more comfortable coming into the school.
What is your title with the PACT program?
I am the PACT Parent Coordinator.
It sounds like you were kind of in charge of things and sending things out.
Yeah, I work with the parents, so I love it. So I go in with the parents when they go in to visit in the classroom, and I'm in there also with them, so I can see what they're observing. And then we go in together I have an office, and we go in there, and we talk about what we saw that the kids are learning and why those skills are important and how they will help them later on. So we talk about all the domains of development, from motor to social-emotional to cognitive to language, and how they're being developed in the classroom and how they can keep developing those skills at home.
A couple of number questions for you. First, how many years have you been doing this, Michelle?
Well, this is my first year as the PACT coordinator, but I have been working for Jamestown Community Learning Council for 9 years. And before that, I did a program called PACERS, which stands for Parents Activating Children's Early Readiness Skills. And that is the same sort of thing, except that we get referrals from teachers for kids that they feel might benefit from the program, and we do home visits with those families.
And what is the age of the young people, again, that you're working with?
Now I work with 4 and 3-year-olds mostly. It's just the 4 and 3-year-olds and their families. So, but the PACERS program works with kids all the way up to the 4th grade, and we even now have new staff that is actually in the middle schools, so helping to form those relationships in the middle schools too.
This is a very interesting subject. I pursue it with you further, but in the interest of time, just a couple of things to finish up here, Michelle. One, it's kind of refreshing, inspiring to hear that there are these positive things that are happening to young children and their parents in the school environment. We don't hear about that all the time, but it sounds like it has a great deal of vitality and that people are committed to it.
It is wonderful. I love it. I absolutely love going to work every day, and I love the families that I work with, and they're fantastic people. And once you form those relationships, everything else falls into place. Forming those relationships is really the most important thing. Making those relationships with the families, having that trust between the school and the home, and having them feel comfortable coming into the school and being advocates for the children and being involved in the child's education is so important.
Michelle Hoden, would most of us have any idea of the need in some parts of the population that you work with unless we really saw it?
I don't think you would unless you really were there, but it's amazing. All the families I work with they're amazing people. They really are, and they're very resilient. And they all care very much for their children. They want the best for their children, and so they're all very eager to be involved and to help their children to be as successful as they can be.
Have you found some fun toys and things? Not that we're going to be specific here.
Wonderful stuff here, amazing. And I know, I think we even got a little bike for one child the mom's real happy about. So,
yeah. A bike?
A bike, yes.
That child is probably not listening right now.
I don't think so.
Michelle, thank you for this fascinating and really inspiring introduction to Share the Vision today. Thank you for your commitment to these families, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you, and to everybody out there, Merry Christmas.
Michelle Hoden from the PACT Program Coordinator at Love School in Jamestown.
Thank you.
I should say at this point in the show that Steve Watterson, who accompanies me on these Share the Vision broadcasts almost all the time, is not here today. He has been called away to the North Pole. If you know Steve, he's very slender and tall and could play the role of an elf in a movie. And I don't know, Heather Brown, coordinator or one of the coordinators for Toys for Tots, if that's what he's been called to do today, but he's unavailable to be a part of this show.
He is, but we have a lot of other little elves here today just doing wonderful things, don't we?
Oh, well, and I have yet to describe the environment here at Toy Central at Allied Alarm because I got into a conversation with Michelle Hoden there, but the room is filled with a lot of great toys and fun things. And, well, how has the response been? Have you gotten what you needed for young people this year?
We think so. It's a very, very busy day today. A lot of donations are coming in. Today is the day that the box sites are coming in from the community, so we're optimistic at this point.
That sounded good, but not certain.
Well, I'm never certain until we're 100% done and the last family in need has gotten their toys. Then I'll sleep soundly.
As we record this, it is Friday afternoon, and there are specific people from specific groups coming in to pick up toys.
Yes, today we have different agencies. We work with a lot of the social service agencies, after-school programs, the Y, all kinds of groups, and we invite them in kind of the day before if they can bag toys for their own families.
Anything exciting, new, different, remarkable happened in the Toys for Tots campaign this year? Anyone that we ought to make sure we recognize from your perspective, Heather?
You know, I've seen some different box sites come in. We've had some new ones. The Edward Jones Financial, I just saw a huge amount of toys and some bikes come in. Z&M had first time in a truck full of toys.
Wow.
We were at Matt Cotoul earlier today, a truck full, and they were just giving us more. I was up at Stockwell Institute this morning and emptied a big sleigh from the lobby of the Colonnade building. It was overflowing. Those were the ones that I interacted with today, so I don't see the masses. The volunteers do.
But this has got to be very inspiring for you to know that this is the 17th year, as I recall.
It is.
That you and Terry have worked together with TRC to put this on for Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots in Chautauqua County, and to know that this level of enthusiasm can be maintained through that period of time for this program every year.
It really is. Every year when we think, gosh, how are we going to get new people involved or new energy, we get a handful, and it's just overwhelming. We're expecting some folks from SKF to join us later for a big photo. They had a fantastic Christmas party last week and are going to bring us a lot, I hear.
As this is broadcast, it is almost noon on Saturday. What is the schedule from here on out?
On Sunday is pickups from 10 until 2. So all of the individuals that applied for toys will be down here at this site. Will be in a different wing of the building, and they'll be picking up their toys Sunday. And then Monday, they'll be also picking up their toys from 8 until 2. So by Monday afternoon, it's going to be a wrap.
And if people want to respond at this moment, would money, a check, be the best way to do so if they wanted to bring one right down here to you at Toy Central?
Absolutely. We'll be here tomorrow.
That's Saturday.
And Sunday and Monday. Toys, we'll still take them. We have last-minute applicants that will come in on Sunday and Monday, and we don't let anybody go without.
Anything else for the moment before you have to go run the elevator again that we should mention for you for Toys for Tots in case I don't get back to you, Heather?
Not really. Just so many people. We couldn't do this without everybody in the community. I mean, the list goes on and on. We'll have everything updated after the holidays and get the final numbers, but I think we're going to be up this year.
Really?
We put in applications, and as of last night, we're up about 200 from where we were at this point last year.
So that's put you in the 2,500 range?
Yeah.
And
we assume that we'll have late applicants again on Sunday and Monday. So if the ratio stays the same, we should break the 2,500 mark this year.
Well, congratulations, and thank you for your efforts again this year to make this happen here. And it is really fun to look at all the stuff.
It is. Take some time to play while you're here.
Yeah, there's some beautiful things. Look, right ahead of us there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 10 barrels full of balls, basketballs, playground balls, soccer balls along.
Balls, footballs. It's a lot of fun. Our volunteers have a good time, too, and get a little silly sometimes looking at all the stuff. So we like to let them do that and have fun.
In addition to all the volunteers and the people in the community who've contributed toys, they do come from elsewhere. Let's give credit where credit is due in terms of the Marine Corps Reserves or toy sellers. Who else supplies you?
They do. The Marine Corps Foundation, located in Quantico. If somebody were to make a national donation, we do get toys from them. This year we got about 700 toys directly from the foundation. And then, like, Toys R Us is a national supporter. So we do have many national supporters.
Heather Brown, thank you. I'll let you get back to what you need to do.
Thank you, Dennis.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
In the midst of, we're going to get to Terry Johnson eventually here, one of the other coordinators, but she's been so busy sorting here. But this gentleman just came in with a box full of toys, and he was pleased that it was filled to the brim again. What is your name?
My name is Mike Stanquist.
And Mike, how did you become, as I referred to it, a box picker-upper?
Actually, my friend Lindsay, she got appointed, and she got me to do it as well.
So where did you just come from with toys?
We just came from Walmart, and we also go to St. James.
And you found a lot of toys at both locations?
We did, mostly at St. James. They had a ton every time, full boxes.
Really?
Yeah.
And were you delighted with what you saw? I mean, did it kind of bring you back to your childhood?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you're a young
nice,
person.
Yeah.
Your childhood's not that far away.
True. Starting to get adulthood now.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
No, I haven't. It's the first time.
Well, that's fascinating. What has been the experience for you? Have you enjoyed it? Has it been inspiring? Tell me a little bit about what you've observed and felt.
Definitely, no, it is inspiring, and it was nice to go out there, see the community support for it, especially, for the church. Even at Walmart, there was still a lot there, too. It's nice to see the community come together. So.
What is it that you do the rest of the time? Do you work for the Resource Center?
Yes, I'm an employment case manager.
What does that mean?
Pretty much I help people maintain their jobs once they actually get them.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for doing this for Toys for Tots, and thank you for letting me kind of persuade you to come on the radio today.
Of course, thank you.
And who is your friend who lost her voice over here?
This is Lindsay Carlson.
Lindsay is now flying away from the table here. But, Lindsay, thank you also. She said you're welcome off microphone.
Yeah, it's not her first rodeo.
Not her first rodeo, someone says here. Who is that standing next to you, Terry Johnson?
Evelyn Wright Kegelmeyer, who happens to have been the recipient of our Volunteer of the Year award this year.
Well, right, and she has got, Evelyn's going to get on here too, because she has a great commitment to Toys for Tots. But first, as one of the coordinators, your assessment of this year here.
Whew.
Well, that was Terry Johnson for Toys for Tots for this year, folks. Tune in next year, see what she has to say.
It's going great. Every year, this time of the year, we all get a little bit punchy.
No.
And, it's going really well. As you can see, there's lots of toys, there's lots of buzz, there's lots of things happening, and there's lots of applications. So that means there's lots of people to be getting toys this next week. So, it's just kind of one of those things as we set up and get ready for today. like that's really just kind of like by Monday afternoon we'll just be taking a deep breath and like getting on with the holidays ourselves. But right now we're really focused on getting the holidays bright for all of these children.
Heather Brown said, as I was speaking to her a little earlier in the program, that you anticipate things are going to be bumped up a little this year. Maybe more young people than you've had in the past, more than you expected this year.
Yes, we are a couple hundred children ahead of where we were at this time last year. So depending on how things go over the next couple days, so you've already had a lot of calls for late applicants of people that missed the deadline and some people that had just recently come into need because of circumstances. So, we expect over the next couple of days that number is going to grow a little bit more.
What I have observed as I've watched you over the last few minutes here at the desk is how complicated this is from the paperwork level in terms of which children have had toys requested for them, if I can speak the grammar correctly, and how you make sure that those particular needs are met once and not twice and no one's left out. There's a lot going on here.
It is. So how we sort it is by if the applicant is picking up their toys or if a case manager is picking up for them, and if it's going to be in Jamestown or Dunkirk, because we only have one Toy Central, and that's here, but we will be sending toys, about 250 bags to Dunkirk tomorrow after they're filled, and so we have to make sure that everything is in the right place, and we have people that come and case managers are picking up, but it was marked applicant pickup, so it gets a little bit messy at times, but I think we over the years have developed a system that works, and probably Heather and I are the only two people that understand our system, but it works for us. So we just kind of make it work. But yeah, it gets a little bit complicated. We got about 10 different spreadsheets, all that mean something different, and we know what they mean.
Now, Terry Johnson, a couple of things that are most appropriate at this moment. One, surprises, special events, people that need to be thanked this year for Toys for Tots. We want to make sure that in the course of this program, appropriate credit is given all the way around.
Oh my goodness, we had so much support this year, and we do every year, but there's always new people that come out. And last year was the first year that we had a connection with Matco Tools, and I went there this morning to pick up and filled my truck up, and they gave us a monetary donation and were asking. I just went there and thought it was going to be a couple-minute pickup, and I ended up standing there talking with their staff for about 20 minutes about Toys for Tots and the process, and they were talking about ideas of more that they want to do next year. So we constantly are finding new relationships and building from that.
Heather mentioned them also.
Yes. And then we had already here today the Lakewood Kiwanis, who has, for several years now, has partnered with us to identify 4 families, and they will be tomorrow. They just came and picked up the toys, and they're going to deliver Christmas trees with the lights and the ornaments, wrap the toys, and they're going to have Santa go deliver to 4 families tomorrow that we've already made the arrangements with the families when they came in, after they came and applied. So we picked 4 families to receive that little special addition to just getting the toys this year. So that's something really great that the Lakewood Kiwanis has been doing for several years.
One of the things that makes me feel good as I look around this room and listen to you speak is the toys that are here. You can get the sense sometimes that young people of any age are only interested in screens. Obviously, they're going to have a lot of other compelling, fun, engaging things come their way on Christmas Day. Absolutely.
And I think, when kids have the toys in front of them, they play with them. I can speak from experience as cleaning out my kids' toy box recently and downsizing my kids' toy boxes. There was all of these things that they hadn't seen in a while, and as soon as they saw them, it was like they were brand new and just started playing with them again. And if the kids have the toys, they will play with them.
It is hard to clean those toy boxes out sometimes, as I recall from even now. Our children are adults, but they don't want to throw anything away either.
Absolutely.
But we are running short on time, and I need to get over here to Evelyn Wright-Kegelmeyer. But Terry Johnson, thank you again for the opportunity to speak to you and for your extraordinary commitment to Toys for Tots.
Thank you so much, and have a Merry Christmas, Dennis.
Thank you. Evelyn Wright-Kegelmeyer is pretty famous in Resource Center circles.
I don't know about that.
You pulled back a little bit when I said that, but you did win a Disability Awareness Award this year?
Yes, I did. For community service and volunteering, and that's just my thing. I can't explain it, but...
And you are a part of the Resource Center otherwise?
Yep, I've worked for the Resource Center for about 24 years. So, and I've been I don't know. On and off, I've been doing things for Toys for Tots probably for the last 10 or 15 years at least.
And you organized a significant event again this year for Toys for Tots and for the entire community there at TRC.
Yes. For Toys for Tots, I did 2 fundraisers, which were vendor events. We held a Christmas in July event at the Resource Center's administrative offices on Dunham Avenue, and that was a large event. We had somewhere around 40 vendors.
So long ago, I'd forgotten about that one.
Yep, we had about 40 vendors, and lots of shoppers came in to help support Toys for Tots. So that was the first time that we held the Christmas in July event, and then we just did an event on December 2nd, which was another vendor event at Dunham Avenue, and we probably had about 30 vendors at that event.
You are really committed to this program.
I love helping and giving back, and just a couple years I've done some bagging and just walking around and putting toys in the bags. It's just such a great feeling to know that there's going to be a child who has things under their tree, and give them a little bit of happiness for Christmas. It's a wonderful feeling.
As you look around the room here, are there any toys that you would like to go play with?
Yeah, I
look
know.
on your face.
I was kind of stalking some of them out. Yeah, there's some amazing things here. The generosity of this community is overwhelming. When you look at the piles of stuff and then you think about the numbers of families that we're going to be able to help, it's just, can't help but give you goosebumps over it. So.
And the process, in terms of what Heather and Terry, joined by Patrick Smeraldo this year, as the 3 coordinators do, and how they make all of this happen and get the toys back here and the barrels emptied and everything assembled and distributed. There's really something going on here.
They have to work 24/7. I can't believe that they ever go home, because when you see this massive quantity, and just how coordinated it is, that it's amazing. These guys are so dedicated to this.
Well, and you too, Evelyn Wright Kegelmeyer, thank you for your commitment to the Resource Center and to Toys for Tots in particular. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you.
The 3rd Toys for Tots coordinator, Patrick Smeraldo, has just joined us here at Toy Central as we record on Friday afternoon. School just got out up there at the Washington Middle School.
It did just get out, yep.
How was school today?
It's a very anxious time right now, Mr. Webster, in the schools. The children know that a vacation is right around the corner. In a middle school, that's always treacherous waters. It can be good and can be bad.
I sort of thought that would be the answer to that. And Patrick, before I get into your impressions of being a coordinator for the first year, Mike Roberts, who provides this facility, this area that becomes Toy Central for Toys for Tots each year from Allied Alarm, was unable to be with us on the show today. He's working another location. But I want to say thank you to him and to his staff. Staplers are an important part of the process here in terms of getting the right labeling stapled to the bags that the toys go out in. One of them was stuck, and I just took it over to his staff, and no problem, they got it all working again. So thank you, Mike Roberts. Thank you, Allied Alarm staff.
Absolutely. I mean, there have been many a day or even a morning before school or something I've come down and left a pallet or something from the night before, and I've come back in, and Mike's guys, first thing in the morning, had already unpacked it and put it where it needed to be or brought things up from downstairs. I mean, there's just Mike Roberts, there's not enough nice things you can say about him for helping with this effort. Absolutely.
Patrick Smeraldo, this is your first year as a coordinator for the Marine Corps Reserve's Toys for Tots here in Chautauqua County. You join Heather and Terry from the Resource Center with your background in education. What have you thought of all of this to this point?
Well, this weekend. They've warned me all week. Like, this is the weekend. So it literally is one of the most regimented, just easy, in my words. I still say that. Just because the amount of people that have come out to help. I mean, I was here last Saturday for the big sort day of where all the toys come in bags and things like that. We sort it and organize it before we bag it and it goes back out. And I had the Purcell middle school honor society come down. I had the Key Club and the honor society come down from the high school. And there were 40 people in this room, kids, adults, advisors, things like that. And it was done. I had planned 4 hours. It was done in an hour and a half. I mean, for people to come and just whatever you need, whenever you need it, I'll be there. What do you need? It's just a fantastic effort.
One of the things that you have to be impressed with as you look around this room, and it's kind of quiet here at Toy Central at the moment, is the generosity of individuals, organizations, businesses, locally across the country to fill this room with so many toys. This is really something.
It's absolutely stunningly crazy. I mean, and I apologize if I leave anybody out, but Springville, the girls basketball team had a tournament and they collected toys and donations, brought them down. SKF's Christmas party, their efforts went towards the Chautauqua County Toys for Tots this year. The Rod and Gun had a party the other night. They had to go pick up things. The teddy bear toss at the ice arena with the Jamestown Express. I mean, there are so many organizations, companies, businesses, individuals that have just been giving whatever they can, money, time, gifts, whatever. And it's a total, true community effort.
Your work as a teacher at the Washington Middle School, as a person who coordinates the efforts of many different organizations and groups in the community helping young people, you would have a sense of what the need might be this year. I think we talked about this during our first program, but has that sense been refined or been amplified since then, Patrick?
Dennis, it's been odd the last couple of weeks, and in fact, I mean, obviously everybody knows it's not a secret. We're in a very poor community, Hispanic-rich community, and we've had some people, actually, some families that I've been made aware of that have moved in here from, Puerto Rico due to hurricanes and tragedies that they've suffered, and there's just a lot of need. There's just a lot of need. There's over 2,200 children, I think, it's way up. The applications are way up, over hundreds of families, and it's just a tremendous effort. There's a huge need in this community. That's not a secret, and it's been fairly successful getting things in to fill orders.
You are a parent of young children.
I am. I have a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old boy.
And the sense in your family of the enthusiasm for Christmas, simultaneous with what's going on here in Toys for Tots and what you talked about in the schools, there's also your family at home and the sense of what's going to come in a week or so?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, Christmas is it, very excited in my home, too. But, in the same respect, I know that Heather Brown's nephews, Terry's boys have been down here to help. My 8 and 12-year-old have been down here to help. I mean, even kids have been involved out here just because of the excitement of Christmas. And you've had to gingerly explain to them, hey, this is for people that need a little help at Christmas time, and just their efforts, too, and just wanting to help and get involved. But, yeah, Christmas is an exciting time for everybody. It's that way, too, in my house.
Patrick Smeralda, we're going to close with you on Share the Vision today, but thank you for your efforts for the first year, your commitment to the coming year or years for Toys for Tots, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you, and I also thank you, Dennis. I mean, you've been, at a moment's notice, you're there for us, spreading the word. That's a huge help to us, too. I thank you, too, in your efforts in your station, but thank you very much, and we'll be back.
And thank you all. Merry Christmas to our listeners. Thank you for sharing the vision today.